process for the appointment of a clerk of the National Assembly. Unfortunately, the media seems fixated and predictable anytime a clerk of the National Assembly is to be appointed. The process becomes a feast for conspiracy theories, unsubstantiated allegations, red herring, and the usual fable of credible sources. Interestingly, the headlines never change, as it was in 2019, 2020, and it is the same now in 2022. How sad. The media, over a duty of truth, accuracy, balance, and fairness. But often than not, these are thrown to the garbage bin in the effort to pander to certain interests. If not, how is it that on March 27, 2019, Premium Times ran with the headline, "Disquiet in National Assembly as clerk, senior officials move to extend stay"? Also, on September 2020, Al Jazeera newspaper ran with disquiet in NAS over confirmation of Ojo as clerk. As it was then, so it is now with Sahara Reporters, Leadership, and the Punch newspapers with imaginary disquiet as stakeholders in ensuring good governance, accountability, and transparency. We feel obliged to urge the media not to overheat the polity and cook up stories that have no empirical basis. The National Assembly Service Commission, as we know, will always carry out its function in a credible manner by following due process stated by the head of service of the Federation, giving clearance on pre-retirement leave of a retiring civil servant, which reads, pre-retirement leave. We strongly believe that the story flying of plans to influence members of the Commission to appoint a certain individual is planted by those afraid of going through the process. The job of the clerk to the National Assembly includes a chief advisor to both President of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives, and also to communicate to all state houses of assembly matters relating to the commencement of the parliament in the tiers of government in Nigeria. So, the idea that only certain categories of staff can perform this duty has no basis in law. It is expected that anyone who has risen to the levels of director and permanent secretaries should be as well abreast of parliamentary operations and should be able to effectively run the office of the CNA. If it were, these people building monuments of falsehood and disaffection would have shown where it is stated. The idea being planted that a certain region should be excluded in the appointment is dangerous and against the federal character principle. It should be based on seniority, competence, and geopolitical zones, and allowed in the interest of national cohesion, establishment, effectiveness, and inclusion. The National Assembly Service Commission should be well abreast of public service rules. The National Assembly service should be seen to be fair, transparent in interpreting the rules of the Commission in discharging its responsibilities. The idea of smearing hard-boiled reputations and careers does no one any good. The media ought to demonstrate their impartiality and not sully their reputation for whatever gains. The current CNA have worked to ensure promotions are gotten as when due, entitlements paid at when due, training and retraining of staff, ensuring improved working facilities, conducive environment, cordial working relationship with the legislators, and plans underway to ensure improved salaries as approved by the Salaries and Wages Commission. We wish to categorically state that the CNA should be allowed to finish his tenure, as stated in the service rules and interpreted by the head of service, whose role is in interpreting the National Assembly service age in 2020 cannot be forgotten in a jiffy. February 14, 2023 is by the corner. Hence, we call on all hands to be on deck in contributing their quota to see that the clerk to the National Assembly, his duty is in the interest of the country.